What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, on a happy, where is it at? There it is, right there. Is it going to play?
Day.
Yes, it is a happy hump day edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's go. Let's do this here. It is a victory. Wednesday. So how do we start off this show? As you know them, you love me, and gotta have them. So here it is. Bring the passion, bring our excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And of course, for fans out there, it is your time to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As we, of course, are on Wednesday. We get you ready for Monday Night Football at Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa. Your away Bucs watch parties. You can see it right there. So we'll be out there, of course, doing a pregame show, a halftime, and if they allow us to stay out there, a postgame edition. You know, the great thing about Tampa Joe's, not only the food, but the atmosphere itself, and also being right down the street. So if they do kick us out and we don't do a postgame show, we'll do it live here in studio on a late night, Monday night, hopefully with the Bucs, by the way, trying to go 5-0 for the 5th consecutive season. How about that, huh? So definitely want to hear from you what you have to say about the game itself as we talk about it. We're looking to have Harry the Greek, but we won't have him tonight. I know what people are also saying. Did you finally get home from the tow truck driver? Of course they did. It took until 12:30. So I was there for about 3.5 hours in the Tesla. So I appreciate you guys tuning into the live there on Facebook. Sorry, YouTube peeps and everybody else. Without further ado, though, we always ask for questions and we always ask for phone calls because I didn't even give out the number yet, but the number's right on the screen. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Really quick, I think we're going to go back to 9 o'clock, and this is why I got a new job today. That new job is starting. The hours are going to be 10:30 to 7 o'clock. I think it's going to be really difficult for me to come on at 8 o'clock, so we're going to change it back to 9 o'clock here. Sorry about that. We'll have the official announcement until that schedule changes. I think that's where we're going to go with it. So if that is an inconvenience to you guys, I really am sorry. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Let's go out to the phone lines here. You're on a happy hump day edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Welcome.
What's up, Peter? This is Corey from Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida.
What's going on, Corey? Right away here on the Sports Web after the Bucs win 23-20. Give me your thoughts, my friend.
Okay, yeah, man. I mean, I don't think people understand like what we really did Sunday, man. You know, to go on the road to a hostile environment, divisional game. So we know each other. We play each other twice every season, and then we went in there with a pretty much a makeshift offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, I don't think they trust Heck, the left tackle Heck.
Yes.
I don't think they trust him because the moves, like 3 positions, they moved Brennerson from guard the center, and then had they left Gedeke at right tackle, right?
Well, they had Gedeke at right tackle, of course. They had Michael Jordan at left guard, Bretterson at center, and of course Graham Barton at left tackle. And they moved the center to left tackle.
Yes, he played it in college. He did
play it in college, and they did keep it a secret. And they did that all the way up to their warm-ups. They were not having Barton practice as a left tackle. They were having him practice as a center. So Jason Light and company were very excited about keeping that under wraps. Of course, the media had no access to that situation. So, of course, and I think, again, was the line under some pressure? Definitely. But I think they, settled down. And, with all things being considered, with, going into it after training camp, because this is the report that came out that they decided to do emergency snaps there at left tackle for Graham Barton. when training camp ended. With all things considered, I thought the line did a pretty good job. And again, I think they're going to only get better. And I expect Tristan Wirfs to come back either week 3 or definitely week 4 versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. But my thing is, what I'm saying is, I don't think they have any confidence in that dude, that swing.
Charlie Heck. I think that's certainly a possibility. And they think, again, that it's a better opportunity to go with what they have last Sunday. So, yeah.
So, man, let me ask you this, man. How you feel about Ibuka, man?
I love him. I loved him. I loved him coming out of Ohio State. I didn't think it was a reach at all. I thought it was could have been the best wide receiver in the league. He's a high character player. He's much in the mold of Chris Godwin, if you will. Runs great routes. Nothing athletically, just flashy, but just gets it done. Runs great routes, catches everything, and is a high character guy. And I don't know if you heard this, but right before he caught the touchdown, I don't know if you've seen this or not, Mike Evans said, in care of our friends there at Joe Bucs fan, he wanted a post route. He said, I'm about to game one. He said, we were in the huddle, and Buka said, we need to run this certain play, and I'm going to game the quarterback. And I was just like, well, maybe we do need to run it. And then literally he runs the post and the touchdown the next play. And Ibuka was asked about that. I think it was from Buccaneers.com. He broke down the play, and he actually confirmed that he did say in the huddle. So here's a kid who's 2 touchdowns in his first game as a rookie, and he looks like a veteran that's been in this league for 5 to 10 years. So it's pretty amazing. And once again, it goes back to what Jason Light we've always talked about on this show. What is it? I am man. The reason why they draft a kid like Ibuka from a great program like Ohio State, you win a national championship. You talk about that wide receiving room with the likes of Marvin Harrison Jr. and Najigba there at Seattle. That's great competition there. That's a great wide receiving room, and he was able to show out at Ohio State. So I just think it's a direct reflection once again of Jason Light and this Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization getting the right guy, getting the right player that not only can be productive, but also fits your organization. Is that fair?
Yes, sir. And the main thing I like about him, he catch everything with his hands.
Correct.
He don't let nothing get to his body. Everything hands. Oh, it's beautiful, man.
It was beautiful. And I think the sky's the limit, because I think teams will continue to try to double and take away Mike Evans. And this will be the opportunity for Ibuka to show out. And then once they do that, once they make that adjustment, then it'll be interesting to see, how the Bucs and Josh Grizzard approach this and how they try to get the ball to Mike Evans with them, possibly doubling on Ibuka, because you pick your poison. And then on top of it, as I've continued to tell Bucs fans, get excited about this team, maybe not necessarily right away, but look in the future here when you get Chris Godwin back, when you get Tristan Wirfs back, and of course when you get Jalen McMillan back. How explosive is this offense going to be here later on in the year? I mean, again, just think about this, Corey. They played their worst offensive game. We would have to admit that they played one of their worst offensive games. They were off. Baker Mayfield was off. He didn't play his best game, and still were able to squeak out a win. Now, how good are they going to be in the next matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons? Again, this is why you play the games, but I feel like it's only going to get better from here. You agree?
Yes, sir. That's the first game of the season. You bring in a new offensive coordinator. He got to get his feet wet for the secrecy, the calling the secrecy of the plays. You know what I mean? Like we said, we had a makeshift offensive line at the last minute, and you on the road against a divisional opponent, man. That's a huge win. I think they played good, man. That's a huge win, and everything. Only thing they probably had a little bit of problem with, I think people go try to attack our linebackers because Dennis just coming back in the fold,
right?
And that's what they were doing. I mean, everything to the running backs, the little tight ends, they was attacking our linebackers once again, and we got to get that cleaned up. You know what I mean? I love David, I love Levante, but he done lost a little step. But we got.
Levante even had something to say about that, and it's interesting you mentioned it because I want to read these comments about Levante David, because he's usually, not the guy that's going to speak on this, but when he does talk, I think people should listen. But he said, about Savasi Dennis. He basically said he ain't got no time to wait. He's got to come in out there ready to go. He's got to get his ass going. This is what Lavonte David said. So he's got to get his ass going. He ain't got no time to wait. He's got to come out there and be ready to go. So there you go. And we remember talking to Lavonte David just a couple months ago and how he was excited and how he thought the fans were excited. And if you watch that first play, the 50 yards there for Bijan Robinson, which, again, give the defense credit. They kept them in check after that, but Dennis didn't have a good game. And, Todd Bowles even talked about it, defended him, saying he hasn't been in a lot of game situations, hasn't been in a lot of games because he's been injured. But when you have your leader of your defense, Lavonte David, calling him out, that should tell you everything you need to know. So I would expect him to improve his play. And if he doesn't, then look for, Todd Bowles in this defense to make changes, especially with a Deion Jones. But we'll see. But I think it was interesting, Lavonte David calling out players already in the first week. And I thought the defense did a damn good job. It gave up a lot of yards, but then it did a good job when it came to the red zone with keeping the Falcons out of it for the most part.
Yeah, this is my last little statement. Everything underneath go to them linebackers and everything. That's mostly what it was to the flats and underneath to the running back, stuff like that. The receivers really wasn't doing too much. But I got a couple of things. How you feel about this Dean situation? I mean, he took a whole pay cut to be a free agent next year. So the writing already on the wall about that. I
think the writing was already on the wall. It's a great point here, Corey, because look, they draft Benjamin Morrison in the second round. You draft Parrish in the third round. So you're trying to improve that situation. It was not good last year. We've seen Dean. We talked about him ad nauseum on this show, how inconsistent he is. And it gives him the opportunity because, if he wanted to, if the Bucs wanted to, and they went with him on this, which was a pay cut from what was something along the lines of $12.5 million in 2025 to now $4.25. So that's a major pay cut. But what the Bucs could have done if Dean didn't agree to this is they could have cut him. So now you have an opportunity. He has an opportunity to show somebody, whether it's the Bucs or another team, that he's in his free agent year. He's able to become a free agent. So, my thing is the writing is already on the wall. You already have Benjamin Morrison. You already have Todd Bowles talking about how Morrison is going to come back this week. There's a reason why you draft him in the second round in the first place. So again, I will be watching this situation as it unfolds because we talked about it at the beginning of the year and the offseason. When does Dean get hurt? And when he does get hurt, when does Morrison take over? Or when does Dean become inconsistent and his play fail? And we saw it on Sunday with the receiver once again running right past him. And if the receiver looks up for it, it's a touchdown. And that's on Dean. We've seen that too many times. I think Todd Bowles has seen this too many times. And even though he has a personal relationship with this player, you've got to have guys that are going to make plays to give you the best chance to win. And Dean just hasn't done that the last couple of years.
And the thing that's crazy to me, he got straight line speed. He just ain't got no hips. He can't turn his hip. He's fast, straight line, but
Todd Bowles always talks about it, how he's the fastest corner on this team. But you're exactly right. If you're not making plays, if you're not able to cover, if you're allowing guys to have a free release and run past you and not intercept the ball and not make plays for this defense, he's a problem. And that's the reason why they addressed it. And they double dipped in the draft just because of that. So what you look at it is, does this light a fire under Dean? You would think it does, because it gives him more of a reason to not only want to earn his starting spot, but also maybe earn a starting spot for another team if he shows out. And then also maybe the Bucs eventually, if they like what Morrison and Parrish have put on tape, maybe you trade Dean eventually to a team at the trading deadline. Anything else, Corey?
Yeah, man, that's it, man. We beat the Atlanta Falcons Sunday and we beat the referees. So y'all need to stand up here, bro, County.
Yes.
Go Bucs.
Yes, go Bucs. He says go Bucs, go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Appreciate the call, Corey. Use that second one. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Of course, we'll be live at Tampa Joe's, not just on Monday night, on Saturday, getting you ready for the USF Bulls as they upset the Florida Gators 18-16. So we will be live all year long for your away USF Bulls watch parties there. Hopefully they can continue that momentum versus the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday, starting at 4:30. We'll start about 2:30, 3 o'clock with your pregame show. Bulls fans, getting you ready for Bulls action. What a surprise, a pleasant surprise your USF Bulls have been early on this year. Let's go out to Mr. Adam. Adam, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend.
Hey, Peter, it's been a while. I'm glad to be back on your show.
Absolutely, man. Good to have you. Good to have you.
You're a great guy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So before we go ahead and I give you my take from this weekend, I did make some observations from the game that really kind of rubbed me, and I've seen it before.
Right.
On several plays while Penix was quarterbacking the Falcons, because we now have the technology that the networks are showing us, the not the play clock, but the clock where you've got to hike the ball within, 24 seconds, right? Okay. On more than one play, I saw it go to 0-0, and then he hiked the ball and no delay of game was called.
Right.
Now, how many 1,000ths of a second after that went down to 0? I've seen too many times. This is not the first time,
right,
where the refs in the NFL aren't calling the delay of game. Why?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know why the refs do a lot of these things. I don't know why there's calls not being made. I don't know why rules are not being followed. I don't understand how you call it one way and don't call it another. I don't have that answer to that question. I've seen it being called.
Also, on
right,
Penix dive to the end zone. So I get it. For some reason, if a quarterback is scrambling, for some reason, when he dives, the ruling is he's down when some part of his leg touches the field. But if his head or his neck or his back or an elbow or a wrist touches the ground first, he's not down.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. You got me on that too, because I thought if he gave himself
on that play, his elbow touched the 4-yard or 3 or 4 yard line.
Right.
Then he crossed the plane of the goal line, and then he hit the ground. I'm not questioning whether or not there was a fumble. That's not the issue. My issue was the ball should have been spotted on the 3 or 4 yard line. Because his elbow hit the turf. But that apparently isn't what I don't know what the rule book is. Harry would probably know, but that's what they're enforcing. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm going to ask TJ Reeves about it, because we got TJ Reeves coming up here in about 3 minutes. He's supposed to jump on for about 15 minutes, and he'll definitely answer these questions, because I agree with you on it. I've thought that the ball was moving. It looked like it was fumbled. Then they say he gave himself up. Then he stretched. Then, the fourth down looks like he's also down, but he puts his hand on the ground, and then you have the football go into the end zone.
Right.
Very, very, very odd, peculiar game, going back to what JP Peterson said on Sunday. Very odd, peculiar, the calls. And it seemed like the refs did everything they could to give the Atlanta Falcons second, third life to score that touchdown. And eventually they did. And
that was also the drive where we supposedly had 2 roughing the passer penalties.
Right. So the Vita Vea one, they're always going to call that. It's a shame, but there's nothing you can do about it. They're just going to protect the quarterback. It looks worse than it most likely is with the helmet-to-helmet shot. There's nothing you can do. So, yeah.
I was impressed with Penix. I think that if he continues his progression, he will continue to be a better quarterback. I will say, and I'll say this all week, if anybody asks me, neither kicker for each team had a bad day. And there's no way that you would have been able to blame McLaughlin if we had lost, or Koo because they still made enough of their field goals. You can't blame the kicker.
McLaughlin, we'll talk about that situation, but the Bucs, of course, expect him, to kick the 44-yard field goal. They also expect him to kick the extra point, but it was brought up, and I'll go ahead. I'm going to get this guy on while you're on the phone right now. Let's go out to the media icon himself, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. You absolutely killed it, as always, on your Nothing But Bucs podcast, and you were talking about this specific matter when it came to the missed kick. What did you see on the sideline? We'll start there. We got Adam on the line. We're opening up the phone lines tonight on these questions. Adam, I'll tell you what, I'll let you go. I want you to listen to what he has to say about this kicking situation, okay?
Thank you.
All right, good stuff, Adam.
Use it, Adam.
Yes.
Hey, good to be with you. Is it still a Victory Wednesday?
It is still a Victory Wednesday.
Johnny Drama. That was me, I think. Shortly after that coup field goal went wide right, I think that was me for the postgame show on Buccaneers Radio. Okay, so a couple of things. Give the Buccaneers credit for what they did in a hostile environment to come from behind and win the game. You mentioned about the kicks, and I know what you're referring to on McLaughlin's miss, and TV did not show this, did not mention this, but we mentioned it on Buccaneers Radio because it was right in front of me. I had a dead-eye view that the guy off the left wing for Atlanta dove right into Chase McLaughlin and knocked him on his butt, knocked him on the ground, right in front of Land Clark, the referee. That's absolutely his call for running into the kicker, if not roughing the kicker. Running into the kicker is 5 yards. Roughing the kicker is 15 yards and would have obviously been the automatic first down. The 5-yard penalty, I believe, would have made it 4th and 1. It was either like 4th and 6 or 4th and 7, Peter, at that point. Then does Todd Bowles go for it on 4th and 1 as opposed to the field goal? I don't know, but they made no mention of it. By the way, this new replay assist that we keep hearing about and keep talking about, replay assist can buzz down to the referee and can call roughing the kicker. They can say on a roughing penalty of a passer, of a kicker, of a late hit out of bounds, they can buzz down and do a replay assist and say that was roughing, that was unnecessary. They didn't do it either. So I kind of forgive on that one. Now, as for saying that you can't blame the kicker, I mean, McLaughlin's got to make that extra point to push the lead back up to 4 so a field goal doesn't tie you. I think he was rattled a little bit because that was the next kick. It was after he had gotten run into, was the extra point there at the end of the game. They were coming at him again off of the left end, his right. I'm not making excuses, but I think he clearly rushed things seeing those guys come at him again. So they got in his head a little bit. And no one, Adam, is going to agree with you in Atlanta that the kicking didn't cost Atlanta the game. I mean, clearly they didn't get to overtime because Younghoe Koo missed. And Peter, that was the 19th time he has missed in the last 2 seasons in one game. That's a lot of missed field goals. And I haven't seen anything tonight. Have they gone ahead and made a move and gotten rid of Koo and they're going with another kicker? I haven't seen that, but that was the end.
They did a tryout for kickers, so it's definitely concerning. And I believe it was like a 72 or 73% kicker last year. That's not going to get it done. You've got to have a guy that's
missed something like 6 or 7 of them last year, and he missed 12 or 13 of them a couple of years ago. So
yeah. So it may not be a physical thing, it may be a mental thing. It's usually always kind of a mental thing. I want to go out to this question really quick because you've had the opportunity to interview players after tough losses. How do you do it? Yeah, how do you do it delicately?
Well, I mean, they are professionals and they get that I'm not there to beat them up. I'm generally there for 2 or 3 questions. And so you're talking about guys like Mike Evans, Levante David that have been around me for over a decade and know that. I typically try not to go to the same guys over and over again after a defeat. I vary it up depending on who I have a relationship with and when I've talked to them. Baker Mayfield is excellent after losses. He understands I'm not the media. I'm not there to beat him up about a key interception or a end of the game situation that didn't work. So they understand I have a job to do. I am team media. I'm employed by the team. So there are a few examples. if you want to go in the way back and the nostalgia, you like this, don't you, Peter?
I love this. I always love the nostalgia.
If you go back to that 2008 Monday night loss to the Carolina Panthers, where the Gruden team was in the free fall at the end of the year after being 9-3, that is probably the only time after the Panthers ran for literally like 300 something yards in the game. What was it? D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Remember those running backs in Carolina? They ran all over the Monty Kiffin defense and the Bucs. That's probably the only time in 20 years of doing this where I had player after player going, nope, get away from me. No. Derek Brooks is looking at me like, like this. Rondé Barber's going, no, do not come over here near me. I'm not talking to you after the game. They wanted to have, because I'm in there before the rest of the media's in there, they wanted to have 7 or 8 minutes, 10 minutes, cool off, go get in the shower before they talked. So that's one of the rare occasions. But by and large, these guys are tremendous even after defeats. The true measure of the character of these guys is, will you talk and answer questions through adversity and after losses? Everybody can talk after wins. That's easy. That's an easy locker room. But I earned my money to a degree on getting stuff out of guys after the defeats, and hopefully there won't be too many defeats this year. Hopefully.
Well, exactly. And I don't know if you knew this, but the Bucs are trying to be 2-0 for the 5th consecutive year here. It's going to be tough. How about that? How about that against the Houston Texans?
No Buccaneer coach had ever started 2-0 in back-to-back seasons when Todd Bowles did it. Todd Bowles now goes 2-0 3 straight years, and you're telling me on Monday night a chance at 4 straight 2-0 starts. No John McKay, Tony Dungy, John Gruden, any of them even won 2 games to begin the year twice. Remember, Gruden lost his opening game. Yes. Remember, Tony Dungy lost his opening game. Yes. John McKay lost the whole 1976 season, didn't win any games. So when you're going down the nostalgia list, it's not a long roll call. Sam Weich won his first 2 games in 1992. I was there in the stands, but the next year they lost the opening game in 1993, I believe. So to Joe Montana, they lost the first game. So this is kind of wild that for all the slings and arrows at Todd Bowles, he keeps winning a bunch of games at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. So a chance to be 2-0. And I know what the number was previously. It's, don't quote me completely, something like this in the 16-game schedule. I don't know about the 17-game schedule the last 2 or 3 years. But in a 16-game schedule, when you started 2-0, your playoff chances went up to like 65% by starting 2-0. Much less if you start 3-0. And it's probably now fair to say 3-0 in a 17-game schedule. But, man, to get 2 road wins, if you would get them right off the year, including the second one on Monday night against a playoff team, that would be great, but it's not going to be an easy task, my friend.
Definitely will not be an easy task. We're on with the media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. You know, going back to it, Houston, of course, looking for a win. Disappointing loss to Matt Stafford and the LA Rams there, 14-9. With all that being said, what was not disappointing was the production out of a key rookie. That would be Emeka Egbuka, which I'm not surprised by. But 2 touchdowns, 25-yarder, and then calling his shot, according to Mike Evans, and I believe Buccaneers.com, asked Egbuka, and he confirmed this. So what did you see with those first 2 touchdowns there, especially the last one?
I said after that first touchdown on the radio broadcast, they came to me and I said, any questions about drafting that guy in the first round now? Some looked at it as a luxury pick, but it turned out to be a need with the injury still to Chris Godwin and him not back. And now with Jalen McMillan hurt, they needed a second receiver. And I know it's only 1 game. All right. There's going to be an ebb and flow. He is a rookie. So, but for that 1 game, he showed what the Buccaneers saw, and they have openly said, Jason Light has now said it, Todd Bowles has said it, he's better than we thought he was. Coming in as a rookie, that's high praise in the NFL. And you made mention, he said to me on the post-game radio interview on 98 Rock and Buccaneers Radio, but Baker Mayfield said it first, that post route was there earlier, I think, in that drive. It was possibly there. And all he did was look at Egbuka, and Egbuka looked back at him and nodded. And that's like a veteran thing. They didn't have to say anything to each other. It's like he saw him, he made eye contact, like it's there. It's there. If you call that again, I will go deep on the post, and then you got to come down with the ball. Tremendous throw, and you got to come down with the ball. So what a clutch moment. And it still stands. I saw the stat revised today, but I heard the stat, and I believe it is correct. So maybe it's either two guys, but I believe it's only one guy since 1970, the AFL-NFL merger, has caught the game-winning touchdown in the last minute of the opening day game while trailing. That's the key phrase, while trailing in the game, which the Bucs were. The answer is Emeka Egbuka, not Jerry Rice, not Steve Largent. Go through all the history of all these receivers. Lynn Swann, Terrell Owens, come into the modern like Marvin Harrison, Randy Moss. Yep. None of them caught the game-winning touchdown in the final minute while trailing on the opening day of their rookie season. And Egbuka did that on Sunday. So there's a lot of potential there. No doubt, my friend. There's
a lot of potential there. The reshuffling of the offensive line, you told me something interesting because we were talking to you before this is announced, and you said what was going on with the Bucs and the reshuffling of the line.
Well, they're not under an obligation to tell anybody. They didn't even tell me. They didn't tell us. They kept it a secret from everybody until they were obviously warming up about a half hour before the game, and Ben Bredesen was taking the snaps, and Graham Barton was out on the left end, but not many people noticed that. And again, when you're talking about putting a guy on the bench and playing somebody else or shuffling your rotation or who's starting or not, that's coaching strategy. They don't have to tell anybody. And it turns out they had been working on that because Bredesen had snapped before in the NFL in a limited capacity previously in his career. Barton had played left tackle the last 2 years at Duke, so they knew he could play left tackle. And in some ways, they got around to this because they watched Graham Barton taking emergency reps at left tackle during the free week before Labor Day, before the practice week really ramped up with Atlanta, because they started looking at the situation of, okay, if something were to happen to Charlie Kirk, what would we do? Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk. I got that on the brain because of what happened tonight. Charlie Heck. Yes. If something happened to Charlie Heck, who are we going to utilize? Would we go to Chuck Woomba, the Nigerian from Georgia State rookie who's never played in a regular season game? At least Heck has played in regular season games. Or would we go to Barton in an emergency? And they liked what they saw out of Barton on the practice tape, taking the reps. So they decided to go with this. And while they were not dominant, the Buccaneers on offense, not dominant running the football, they were good enough. They were good enough offensively, good enough to get in the end zone when they had to get in the end zone. And now everybody stay tuned if they leave that same lineup in Houston in the loud crowd with Bredesen at center. And again, an undrafted player, a free agent in Michael Jordan. No, not that Michael Jordan. The other Michael Jordan playing left guard. First time ever for the Buccaneers. He's starting a game at left guard, and then Barton for the first time ever starting at left tackle. It worked out pretty well relative with that.
All right, last question. We'll get you out of here on this because we appreciate the time. Media icon TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. What did you make of all the calls by the refs on that last drive for the Atlanta Falcons where the refs are basically...
You know me. Yes. You know me. All right. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm probably the last guy to come in and start talking about officiating being a key part to the end. It's rare. All right. I am the son of a former official, a high school, junior college official in Tennessee and in Florida. Our buddy Jason Powers is an official. I know numerous college football and NFL officials and college basketball and even a couple of Major League Baseball umpires, college basketball referees. I have great respect and much love for how tough the job can do. I have officiated, by the way, at the elementary and middle school level. I have officiated in basketball. It's not an easy thing, all right? I get it, and especially at the professional level with everything moving fast. But that was some weak stuff. I mean, at one point I was saying off the air and to others around me, how many more breaks and calls are they going to give the Falcons on the same drive to get in the end zone? I lost track, Peter, at like 4, 6, 23. How many of the calls are you just going to keep giving to the home team here? First of all, for the love of all that's holy, they have drilled it into us for going on 20 years. You have to survive the ground for it to be a catch. Am I wrong about that? Come back on with me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Absolutely right about that.
So,
and I don't know. Yes.
On the pass to Kyle Pitts, did we not all see him going to the ground after the 2 steps? You clearly see on 2 angles of the replay, the ball touches the ground and the ball is moving while he's rolling over and it comes out. He did not, by their own definitions, survive the ground. How do you reverse incomplete on the field as the call to complete when the ball came out? Clearly with him going to the ground.
Yes.
At least they got the one later with Drake London correct. Incomplete was the call. And again, on the replay, you didn't have anything definitive to overturn it. You saw the ball hitting the ground, and the ref that was in the corner back behind the play had a good look at it, and he came in immediately saying incomplete. It's on the ground from Drake London. But like Michael Penix, right before the 4th down play where he scores, he calls a signal out, and then he leans back and takes a step backwards, and 4 Buccaneers are pointing, going, hey, that is a false start. That is simulating the snap.
Yes.
Land Clark, the ref, that's his call. He is standing there asleep, Peter, asleep, not calling that at the end of the game. So there was some shaking. It was surreal. It was shaky at the end of the game. You love the coded surreal from A Few Good Men.
I do.
But yes, the Bucs found a way to win the game. All right, couple of things about Monday night.
Yes.
How do they handle the loud crowd in the start to the game, especially if CJ Stroud makes a big play? If the Texans get the lead, we saw that Sunday. So we look ahead to Monday night. How do they handle adversity? You don't want to be down a score, much less 2 scores, 10 points, 14 points. How do they handle adversity? Can the Buccaneers run the ball better than what we saw in Atlanta? We saw it in spots, but Baker Mayfield ended up being the leading rusher in the game. Can you get it going with Bucky Irving? Can you get it going a little bit with Rashad White? They were close a couple of times. White broke free on one run through the middle. Irving had another one where he broke free and broke a tackle and got about 10 yards. But by and large, they didn't get a lot of push on the offensive line. And it will not be easy with Hunter on one end, Allen on the other end in Houston. Can they run the ball? And let's see what this team has with good energy, good health, it appears, going into this game. We'll know more about the injury situation tomorrow and Thursday in practice, but let's see, because you got the first one, and now you're almost playing with house money. If you win the first 2 on the road, are you kidding me? If you get those to come back home with the Jets, cannot wait for that. So we'll see.
Cannot wait for that. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, the media icon. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution of Sports
You
Talk
can
Television.
find me at Bucs Sideline Guy right there on the screen. I'm always tweeting about everything, including Buccaneers. Go find the Nothing But Bucs podcast, full recap of the win over Atlanta, all of Gene Deckerhoff's calls. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! He's yelling for Emeka Ibuka at the end of that game. Get all the highlights, get all the insight and analysis, get the post-game interviews. A lot of times the fans don't hear the radio post-game interviews that I did with Baker Mayfield, with Emeka Ibuka. I interviewed Ben Bredesen and also Graham Barton together, and Coach Todd Bowles here, all of that. Nothing But Bucs is the podcast on Apple, on the Buccaneers mobile app, Buccaneers.com. Check that out. And Tampa Joe's is your sponsor there in Tampa, right off of Waters Avenue, right at Waters and Lineball, Waters and Anderson.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to you being out there for the USF watch party on Saturday. I think, hey, fans, let's go support Peter and Tampa Joe's. Let's go watch the Bulls and Miami. I think I'm headed your way for Saturday afternoon for the watch party for USF and Miami at Tampa Joe's. How does that sound?
It sounds great. 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa. Mr. TJ Reeves, we'll see you on Saturday.
There you go.
We're hoping for USF to keep that momentum going against the Miami.
Friend, if they get this win somehow on Saturday, they're in the top 10, and they may be higher than the top 10. Look out for the buzz at the beginning of the year. Stay tuned. Keep knocking them dead here on the Sports Web. Always good to be with you.
All right, there you go. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, the media icon. We'll see you soon, my friend. We'll see you on Saturday, all right?
All right, my friend. See you later.
All right, there you go right there. So he's going to be out there. Will you be out there at Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa? Great peach wings. I keep on going back to the wings because I'm a wings guy. That's what I do. I eat chicken wings. Although, to appease some people, I need to eat a Caesar salad. It had the crispy chicken in it, but it was also good. All the food there. Flatbread pizza, I heard, is really good. I'm going to try it. We're going to try to get some people on during the broadcast to promote what they're doing there. And USF Bulls fans, you're more than welcome when we go to away games. Come out there. Go out to Tampa Joe's. You Bulls fans wanted somewhere to go. You've got somewhere to go. It's Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road. And, of course, you Bucs fans should not feel left out because for your away watch parties, away, not the home, because I'm looking to get credentialed with the JP Peterson Show. I'll be doing the tailgates out there. That's the plan for What the Buck right before the game. And, of course, on the field at the end of the game, it's Tampa Joe's. Let's go out to Curtis. Curtis, welcome to the Evolution on a happy
Hump day
edition, my friend. Go ahead.
What's going on, brothers?
What's going on? Hey, stand by for just a moment. Let me put you on hold because I got somebody calling. I'm going to come right back to you. Stand by. Jim, let me put you on hold. We got Curtis on the line. We're going to have Curtis finish up, and then you're going to go, okay? So stand by. All right. I guess that's he's going to do that. All right, Curtis, go ahead.
I first of all, I don't care how it came. Big win to our Bucs for Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't matter if we won by 1, if we won by 30. It doesn't matter how terrible some people say the offensive line played. A W is a W, and W's are hard to come by in the NFL,
especially on the road when it comes to divisional contests like that. Yes,
absolutely, and especially out of what is the top 2 teams in the division.
Yes.
Okay, because nobody's worried about Carolina, nobody's worried about New Orleans. Everybody knows it's all about either Atlanta or Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2, yes, Baker started off terribly slow, but this guy hasn't played a meaningful football game since we lost to Washington in the playoffs.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah,
not at all. Okay, he's been standing on the sideline with the new offensive coordinator all spring, all summer, all everything.
Yep.
Okay. I don't like the disrespect that this team is getting.
Well, that's okay. This team. Listen, Curtis. And a lot of fans just get used to this. If the national media is disrespecting this team, good.
No,
that's good.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind flying under the radar.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Any other team that wins their division 4 or 5 years consecutively, there is a whole bunch of writing going on, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right. There's all kinds of reporting and writing and doing what they do when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and all these other teams with hype every year, like the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I get it. But you know what? The Bucs embrace being the underdog. They love the chip on their shoulder, right? We've seen Baker Mayfield when he's at his best is when he's got a chip on his shoulder. The guy keeps on having a chip on his shoulder because he has something to prove. That's why he's continued to be successful with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last 2 years because of that chip on his shoulder. So what I would say to people out there saying, the national media and ESPN and Fox and all these broadcasting companies, Barstool, whatever, and not John Gruden. He's pretty excited about the Bucs beating the Falcons. But if they keep on disrespecting them, just say thank you. Thank you very much. May I have another? Because after that, the Bucs are going to do what they always do, most likely win the NFC South and surprise a lot of people besides us on this show.
This is what people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
This team obviously is not 100%.
No.
Okay. Second, this team didn't even give you a 40. I don't even think that was 40% of what we could be.
Right.
Okay.
They're only going to get better, right? I mean,
only going to get better.
You get the best left tackle, the best tackle in the league back, you're going to be a lot better.
You're going to get what looks like already who's going to be the offensive rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it, doesn't it?
Then you're going to get Godwin back.
Mm-hmm.
Cade Otton had no catches on Monday.
No, he did not.
I mean Sunday. Sorry.
Right.
No catches. And how many rushing yards did this team have?
Well, Baker Mayfield led them in rushing with 39 yards. You never want to see that. So it certainly can get better. They can clean some things up. And as I said, they got to get healthier. You know, you got to get Tristan Wirfs back on that line. You got to get Chris Godwin back would definitely help more and more. And then, of course, Jalen McMillan coming here later on in the year.
And this defense is only going to get better.
Of course. I think so.
Going to get better.
I think it will. I think Levante David expects that. Didn't you hear that from his comments? How he expects more from Dennis. Dennis has got to play better. He's got to. He's got to come out.
I think Hassan Reddick is only getting his feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Yaya and the rest of the guys on the defensive line, they are going to become one whole team, one whole defensive line, and these guys are going to hurt somebody.
Yep.
When they finally put it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I don't care. A W is a W. Like I said, people don't understand. It's hard to win in this league. I mean, I hate to bring it up because everybody talks about it. Look how the Ravens lost that game Sunday.
How they lost it. How about that, huh? How about that?
Look how they lost that game.
And Josh Allen showing once again why he's the MVP of the league, why he was the MVP of the league last year.
Look how Chicago lost that game.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
A sore spot for Harry the Greek. I agree with you.
Tell Harry we love him forever. He knows we do.
We do.
But listen, Caleb came out firing the ball, and I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Yep.
And then it just fell apart.
Well, it fell apart because the defensive coaches and Brian Flores made adjustments, and the Chicago Bears didn't make those adjustments. And was it aided by some questionable calls? Yeah, I definitely think so. But when it came down,
not only that, Pete, but people forgot about that Chicago defense was their secondary. They were missing both of their starting corners.
Correct. And they also got ran over. They got gut punched by that running game. Again, we talk about with McCarthy coming out of Michigan. What was he good at? He was good at making some critical throws,
he's a great game manager.
Correct.
Not a good game manager. He's a great
game manager. He's a caretaker. If you run the ball and you make that defense of the Chicago Bears tired and you continue to run the ball, then it makes those throws that much easier. And it also makes those, pass play action, because McCarthy, the first half, he looked like absolute especially when he threw that pick six, he thought the game was over at that point with the Bears being up 17-7. But as we know, it's never over in the National Football League.
Like you just said, what did you go into the halftime and what adjustments did you make?
Correct.
Because we've watched this Buck team over and over again come out and put up crap in the first half, and then they've came out and made adjustments, and you're like, this is a whole new team.
Right.
Like, and I'm definitely excited. Football's back. Is definitely exciting. I'm so excited for this team to put it completely together, because all the naysayers, you're going to be sorry.
Yes.
You're going to be sorry.
We love when the naysayers say what they need to say. They can keep on talking and the Bucs can keep on playing. Curtis, I appreciate the call. Use that second one, my friend. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Let's go out to this guy, Mr. Let's go out to him first. I know we got Jim on the line. First, really quick here, Mr. Victory Monday. I'm going to put you on hold because I'm going to go out to Jim really quick, and then we'll come right back out to you because I want to talk to you, okay?
10-4.
All right, stand by. Let's go out to this guy really quick.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell's the matter with you?
Jim, welcome to the Evolution, my friend. What's going on? What's on your mind tonight?
Man, you should make Curtis a call. Boy, y'all was just having a good old conversation.
Man, everybody wants to talk about the Bucs, and I don't try to make people move fast or anything like that. I want you to get your thoughts out, and I don't want you to stay on hold and not have something to say. We're not a radio station or a TV station. I appreciate the call, and I appreciate the conversation as always, as long as you keep it going. So, Jim, what's on your mind tonight, my friend?
You're correct. Hey, tight end.
Yes.
Tight end.
Yes.
Gotta do something. Gotta catch the ball. Tight end. the secondary, they did good, but I need turnovers. I need interceptions.
Well, listen, when you got Zion McCollum, who's got 2 opportunities, one in particular before the half that takes points off the board, and you don't corral that ball and make that interception, that's where people are like, well, you just signed him to an extension. I think he's going to make some plays, but you got to make that play. And this is what Todd Bowles has talked about in the offseason, only 7 interceptions total for this team. So they got to improve on that. They had opportunities to do that. You got to take those opportunities because, of course, as we know, when you give the Falcons or any team at the end of the day a second opportunity, of course, they take advantage of it and score a field goal there to get back into the game. If you don't, you get that interception, the game is different. The complexion of the game is different, my friend.
Yes. How long you think till Godwin come back? Because that's going to be crazy.
Well, the reports are that he was going to be, out for 4 or 5 games, probably mid-October, maybe late October. I don't know. I never doubt this guy. I get it. It was a gruesome injury, but how can you doubt him? How can you doubt the heart of this young man who continues to come back from injury after injury? And listen, when he was coming back from injury last year, he was leading the league with reception. So I'm not going to doubt him. I think the Bucs feel a lot better with the development, if you will, and the arrival of Ibuka, so they're not going to rush it. Why would you? Because you don't want to have another injury. But I would assume it's going to be, mid-October to late October. If not, then I would be shocked. Actually, I wouldn't be shocked because this is Chris Godwin and this is his heart, and this is the reason why you sign him to a 3-year extension in the first place, right?
Yeah, he's going to be my next football jersey, I think, because I don't really have an offensive player, and I don't really like 13 because it's unlucky. I'm a little superstitious. But I do like Mike Evans. That's my boy. But
unlucky. 13, you got to get Mike Evans. You got to get a Baker Mayfield. You got to get a Bucky Irving.
I'm going to get Godwin.
All right, we'll get Godwin. That's a good move.
Mecca Buka coming up and number 0 on defense.
There you go. Number 0 right there. Yaya Diaby, which you saw flashes once again. So hopefully you can see him get to the quarterback and finish off a CJ Stroud. I thought there was some pressure that got there, just not nearly enough. And once again, I'm excited about Hassan Reddick and the kind of impact he can make on this defensive line, my friend. Jim, anything else, my friend?
So who's going to be our number 2 lineman next to Vita Vea? Who you thinking? In the middle.
Well, that's Kalijah Cansey. You've got Kalijah Cansey there.
Yeah,
and then you also have Gaines there and Logan Hall. They do a rotation, and that rookie that they also have that we interviewed on this show. He may get some playing time. Yep. So
tell Frozen Pirate, man, I miss him.
Well, he's no longer a part of this show, my friend. He's doing his own thing, and that's okay. People can do their own thing. That's it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. That's all right, but I'm a Peter Blake fan.
There you go. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. The check is in the mail, my friend.
Tell me what to say, Peter Blake. No nonsense.
Well, say it. Say it. You got to say, bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Go, Jim.
Bring the passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense.
Boom, baby. There it is. Victory! All right, good stuff, Jim. Appreciate you as always, all right?
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Use that second call. Let's go out to Mr. Victory Monday himself. I got to tell you something. I look forward to every time when the Bucs win to see that video. Very creative, my friend. Very, very creative when it comes to your Victory Monday celebrations. If you don't know who this is, Mr. Franco himself, who has been on this show, a Libra after my own heart, a major Bucs fan, and of course he does the Victory Monday celebrations. What was your? Well, go ahead and explain what you were doing on this Victory Monday video here, man. Welcome to the Evolution.
Well, shots out. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's like his name is like Mr. 803 or something of that nature, man. But anyway, we have this line dance epidemic or pandemic, however you want to put it, that just popped off this year, man. Everybody's doing line dances.
Yes, Janelle Sanab or Janelle Sanib. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This whole boots on the ground thing has really taken over, man. And it was a lot of people playing that this past weekend, and they did a big thing in Atlanta Stadium while we were there Sunday. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna salute them the best way possible. I wasn't about to get the fans because that was my whole thing. The motion with the flag is when them popping the fans. But Yeah, man. I had a real good time with that one this weekend, man.
Yeah, you did. And I loved it. And I knew exactly what it was all about. Boots on the ground and boots in their ass, if you will, stealing an old wrestling
Very
reference from
so.
The Rock against the Texans on Monday night, man. Give me your thoughts. I saw you, Trevor, call back. We're talking with Franco right now here, Mr. Victory Monday. I call him on the Evolution, and definitely don't be a stranger, my friend. In fact, we got to get you to come out to Tampa Joe's because we're having away watch parties for the Bucs this year. I know you're going to be at the tailgate, so I got to get you to come out there on Monday night, man. We gotta do some shows together.
Man, definitely, man. I would love that, man. I would love to do that, man. My honest thoughts on this coming Monday, man, is revenge tour. Many of us went to that game in 2023, and we pretty much had that game in the bag, man. It was something particular happened, and I can't put my hands on it directly, but it was something Todd Bowles did with the clock, and I don't remember exactly how it happened. But however, what I do remember is the exact amount of time that it took C.J. Stroud to come back down that field. Those seconds he were left with were actually supposed to get taken off the clock.
Yes.
It was something about a 10-second runoff that they wouldn't even have that time. But I remember sitting in that stadium when we scored that touchdown. I actually rebooked my flight because we were supposed to fly back right after that game. I looked at my lady and we said, you know what, the hell with it. We're going to celebrate out here. We're going to stay. We're about to win this game. And I'll be damned, they come right down there and score a touchdown and just shatter that whole thing. And that was the most deflating thing. So I'm looking at this as a revenge tour, man. I think we're prepared this time around. We won't take him lightly. He was a rookie that year. We know what he's capable of. We know this team is strong. And I think we're going in there with a different mindset this time to go in there, kick ass, come out of there with a W, bro.
I love it. 39-37. I'll never forget it. I was out there at that Rivers at the time with your Bucs brethren. And we were all excited about the Bucs. And of course, talking to Dave Canales that week out at the patio involved with the JP Peterson show. And, that was the biggest offensive output at the time for the Canales offense. And of course, the defense and Carlton Davis had something to say about that. Hold my beer. We're going to go ahead and let the wide receivers run all over the place.
Man. Oh my goodness.
The place. It was so bad. It was so bad to watch. And then at the same time, you're right. The Bucs come right on back in the fourth quarter and then blow it. It was just that kind of a year. It was just that kind of the game. But with that being said, man, what are your other thoughts on this defense? Because I know you're a defensive type of guy there. Sabasi Dennis getting called out by Levante David, Hassan Reddick involved. I mean, yeah.
I like the way he called them out though. It wasn't in a negative fashion. He pretty much put out there like, I expect more from you and you could be a whole lot better. And you can see at the end of that quote, he says, I expect to see that from him. There were a couple of plays, man. I was actually watching a replay today on Fox, and when you're at a game live, it's so much going on around you. You miss so much. You can only see so much going on. So when you go back and watch it on TV, you get to assess certain things that you can't see live. And Savasi Dennis, he had a hell of a day, or I'll say good and bad. But it was some key tackles that he missed. And some plays that could have been made on his end that you expect him to make that I could see him making in the future. It was a lot of shaky things going on, Pete, if you ask me, man. I told somebody legit, going to the offensive side of the ball, Baker Mayfield could have legit threw about 5 picks on Sunday, man.
Oh, yeah, he was not good.
Legit 5 interceptions, and I was like, oh, my God, bro. But, I don't know if you want to call it the luck of the draw or, whatever. Yeah. I mean, it just didn't pan out that way, but it were a lot of things that I saw, a lot of people forgetting that we're without Tristan Wirfs right now. And, I think the offensive line, the scheme that was set up by the coordinator, incorporating the running backs within like the blocking scheme, they did a good job with that, missing one of our key players. I was happy overall to take the W with the division win and a win overall, first game right out of the gate. And I expect us to go back to the drawing board, man, and clean this mess up. And we're going to come out and show everybody how strong we are these next 3 games.
You're going to need to, because, the Houston Texans with that defense, they're definitely going to be a challenge, especially versus, that offensive line that's been reshuffled with, of course, Graham Barton at left tackle, Michael Jordan left guard, and, of course, Bren Brederson at center until Tristan Wirfs comes back. All right, man, you got to do me a favor. You got to do the Victory Monday. You got to do a Victory Monday sing or something here, song real quick. And we got to get you out there on Monday and going forward for the away watch parties. And you got to bring yourself and all your Bucs friends, because I want it to be loud and noisy. I want all the Bucs fans to come out for this watch party. I want this to be the official watch party of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No doubt, man. Well, we got to give them a sample, man. So we're going to take it back to ATL. Ain't no Monday like Victory Monday. We done got another one.
Yeah, Lord. Love it, man. Franco,
right,
thanks a lot, man. I'll see you on.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Listen, Monday
Yes, sir.
night, come out there. We'll get you out there. We'll get you on camera. We'll get you a part of the evolution of sports talk television, and bring all your friends, okay?
No problem, Pete. Always love, baby. Let's go.
All right, go Bucs.
All right,
absolutely,
yes,
my
sir.
friend.
Wait up,
little boy.
Yes, sir.
Wait up.
Love it. Appreciate you as always. I see some phone callers. Franco right there, Mr. Victory Monday. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Remember, this Monday night, we'll be out there getting you ready for Bucs versus the Texans. 93-16 Anderson Road. It's Tampa Joe's. Let's go out to Trevor. Trevor, welcome to the Evolution, my friend, on a Victory Hump Day, my friend. Go ahead.
How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Man, I was at the game in Atlanta this past Sunday.
Okay.
It was quite an atmosphere out there.
Okay.
I will say, it was a very hostile crowd.
Yeah.
But, I took my son with me, and he was like, "Man, they're loud, Dad." I was like, especially when Bijan scored on the opening drive.
How old's your son, by the way?
He's 13.
Oh, there you go. So, but you probably took him to previous games, so you corrupted the young lad, if you will, and made him a Bucs fan, correct?
Oh yeah. His favorite player is Vita Vea.
There you go. There you go. Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
You see, parenting done at its finest. It's just that simplistic right there. Man's a Bucs fan. He makes his son a Bucs fan. There you go. We all win in life.
Yes, sir.
All right, my friend. So what else? What else is on your mind tonight with this Bucs team? What else did you see?
Well, I think it was huge for us to win that game.
Right.
Everybody, I know a lot of people are saying, well, we kind of didn't put our best foot forward or whatever. The bottom line is this. The Falcons owned us last year, and then they split with us the year before. So the last 3 out of 4, they pretty much, they had us. You know what I mean? So personally, for me, I think it was a monkey that we got off our back. I know it wasn't pretty, but number one, it was week 1.
Right.
Okay. And obviously, with the shuffling of the offensive line at the last minute, that's going to take some time for that to gel. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't surprised that the run game wasn't as smooth as it has been, especially like last year or whatever. But, one thing that I kept in my mind when I was watching the game Sunday, even though I was stressed out the whole time, I remember the fact that, hey, we played in a lot of big games over the last 5 years. I mean, even with the Baker era, I'll take the Tom Brady era out of it and just focus on 2023 and 2024.
Sure.
I feel like our team is battle tested. We've been to hostile crowds. That freaking game in Detroit, both times in Detroit, the playoff game, and then the regular season game the year after that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I knew that we were battle tested and, we were prepared regardless of how loud that crowd was. Because I'm telling you, Peter, it was freaking loud in that building. You know what I mean? So,
yes, it was.
But, again, they were battle tested. But my guy, Emeka Ibuka, though, my God.
Yeah. How'd you like that? Did you like that? Did you like that performance on Sunday?
I loved it, man. And I'll be honest with you. I'll never question Jason Light ever again. Here's the thought process at the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, okay, I didn't know Chris Godwin's injury was still like I figured like he was on schedule to return week 1. That was my thought process going into the draft.
Right. With the extension, you would think that. And then there was some other conjecture. There was reports out there that he had a second surgery to align the ankle or fix the ankle because it was a gruesome injury. You had a player that had his ankle the other way. I mean, it's just horrific injury. So for him to come back as soon as he did, or as soon as he was going to, you could tell that when they drafted the wide receiver, and it goes back to also last year when they lost Godwin, when they lost Evans, you had Jalen McMillan, but then what else did you have? Well, that's the reason why you drafted Ibuka in the first place. Mm-hmm. So you cover yourself, and then you also address that. You double dip again and get a Tez Johnson in the 7th round. So it made lots of sense to do what they did. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's a luxury pick. It's not a luxury pick. Because if you go back to last year with all the injuries they had to that wide receiving room, you didn't want to depend on Sterling Shepard. You didn't want to depend on Ryan Miller. Good receivers, but are they top-notch? Your offense still is able to be productive, but you needed to improve that situation.
Right. And honestly, if we're being honest, especially in the middle of the season when, last year when Mike missed some time and then obviously Chris was out for the season.
Yep.
Had both of those guys been healthy, I'm sure we would have won at least 12 games last year. At least. That's why I think they're going to win 12 this year. So I want to publicly apologize to Jason Light. I don't know if he's listening.
I hope he does. We love Jason Light on this show. We never doubt the Light. We never doubt Jason Light ever.
Right. And normally I wouldn't. Going into the draft, normally I was like, hey, Jason Light's been crushing it the last 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My eyebrows raised when we got Emeka Ibuka.
Was it the Rock? Was it the Rock eyebrow raise? Did you do that?
Was.
It was.
And
yes.
It wasn't, and it was no knock to him.
Right.
Because I seen this dude. I was like, yo, this dude's mad talented. I was like, I mean, that's great. I was like, but we need defense. That was my thought process. Sure. So it wasn't like I was like, oh well, this dude's trash. Why would we draft this dude? He's trash. You know what I mean? He's definitely not trash. You know what I mean?
No.
And see, here's the thing. What I noticed is this about Emeka. You can't just stick this dude's I think he's a true number 1 already. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
So you can go ahead and double team Mike all you want to.
Mm-hmm.
As we both saw Sunday, Emeka will eat your lunch in front of you.
Yes.
And smile in your face, because that's exactly what he did to Atlanta.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
he
I
did.
love his energy after the game, the post-game interview with TJ when he says, going into that final drive, he's like, we shoot to kill. I was like, oh my God, I love this energy.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I was just like, oh my God.
I love, by the way, Nothing But Bucs. If you're not listening to that podcast on the day after to listen to the great Gene Deckerhoff, Mean Gene himself said, fire those cannons. That's my best Gene. Met him when I was 8 years old, signed my Bucs shirt a long, long time ago. If you're not listening to that podcast and listening to those interviews by the great TJ Reeves, what are you listening to? But you're exactly right. You love that attitude. You love that killer instinct. And it goes back to what? It goes back to what Todd Bowles was talking about when he said his team needs to have more of a killer instinct. Trevor, stand by here really quick. Let me put you on hold. We'll have you finish up the call. But hold on. Ian from Mississippi. Ian, stand and finish up with Trevor, and then we'll come back out to you, all right?
Right on.
All right, my friend. All right, Trevor, go ahead and finish up, but you're exactly right. The killer instinct, you love that attitude, especially from a rookie, a guy that's supposed to have a tough transition over to the NFL game from the college game, but it is performing like this. It's tremendous.
Yeah, the only tough transition was the Falcons having a tough transition trying to figure out how to cover this.
Well, there you go.
And
that's great. Love it.
The only thing that I would have liked to see, because honestly, I don't care what anybody say. I saw the game. You know, some people say, well, you know, Atlanta, you know, let Tampa Bay off the hook. No,
I disagree with that. I think other than that opening drive where Bijan Robinson scored, and he's an amazing player. So, shout out to Bijan. He's a great talent.
He is.
Other than that drive, I think from top to bottom, we just legitimately outplayed Atlanta. I mean, am I the only one to see it that way? Because I think our defense really tightened up after that drive.
Yes.
Like, everybody talk about how Michael Penix had a great game. He didn't play bad, but I'm thinking back of my mind, I was just like, I don't know if his performance was great. I think he was decent. And I think one of the reasons he was quote unquote decent is because our defense was freaking awesome. In my opinion, I think the only thing that I would have liked to see more out of the defense is capitalizing on those turnover opportunities.
Yeah,
we could have had 3 picks. I know. I'm thinking in the back of my head. I believe it was 3 of them that I counted, where I felt like we could have got some interceptions, and
2 of them by Zion McCollum. And one of those, he takes points off the board right before the half. You're exactly right. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. I thought Penix played well, but I think the defense, here's the thing. Bend, don't break, right? You didn't give up those major points. You gave it that one big play. When it came to rushing, the staple of, this Bucs defense has been what? To stop the running game, shut down the running game. Well, they did that. 12 for 24 against Robinson and Tyler Algier, 10 for 24, and Michael Penix 6 for 21. You'll take that all day long, especially when you shut down a running back like that. So, again, we can go ahead and nitpick about the defense. We can nitpick about the yards, but when it comes down to it, it's scoreboard. Bucs are 1-0, 23-20. It's an ugly win, but a win. No, I don't think there's ever an ugly win, but if it's an ugly win, it's a win. Would you rather a pretty loss? Nobody wants that.
No, sir.
No, exactly. So,
and the 2 biggest things that I wanted to see, and I think we accomplished that, was okay. Last year, Bijan carved us up pretty good through the ground.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I think we did an outstanding job containing him on the ground. Now he got loose in the passing game, but you know what? His real MO is, I was more concerned about stopping him on the ground.
Yep.
And we did a really good job of that. And then I know Kyle Pitts, he carved us up pretty good last year too, over the middle.
Right.
He got he caught some passes, but I think for the most part, he didn't gash us like he did last year.
I mean, Drake London, I think you go back to those numbers, right? He was a killer last year, over 100 receiving yards. I think like 12 receptions for 142 yards, 8 catches for 55 yards. You'll take that all day long. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 59. I mean, it was distributed, with some players, but, again, no major big time plays, no blown coverages. Once again, you will take that from that defense. What you like to see more of is them finishing at the quarterback. Let me ask you here, Trevor, are you local or are you in I'm thinking, are you local or North Carolina still? Where are you at?
Well, no, actually, I'm in Georgia.
You're in Georgia. All right. Well, I was going to say, I was going to invite you out to Tampa.
I have a North Carolina number.
Right.
I have a North Carolina number.
Okay.
At one point, I did live in North Carolina, and I just never changed my number.
Okay. I got you. I was going to invite you out to Tampa Joe's. So sometime when you get down here, you got to get out to an away watch party and be a part of the evolution of sports talk television, my friend. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to actually I'll be down in Tampa in October for the 49ers game.
Okay. Well, then come out to the tailgate. We'll be right there for that. We'll get you on. We've got you on before, my friend. I appreciate the call as always. Anything else?
Last thing, I just want to give a shout out to my guy, Antoine Winfield Jr. I think he's back.
I think he's back too. Yep. What a play.
I think he's back at that first team all-pro level that he left off in 2023.
Sure.
That last play that, where he knocked that receiver senseless. Shout out to him because that literally, basically sealed it for us.
I agree.
So shout out to him and shout out to the Falcons kicker too.
Well, shout out to him. Absolutely. What great job of missing that kick. We appreciate you, Koo. Awesome.
Yes.
The check is in the mail. All right. I'll give you a go Bucs here.
Wait up, little boy.
I'll give you that. I'll give you this.
How about them Bucs, baby?
I'll give you that. And do me a favor before you get off the line. You got to do this. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. 3, 2, 1. Go, Trevor.
bring your passion. Say it one more time.
Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Come on, come strong to the mic.
Bring
now.
your passion, bring the excitement. Just don't bring the nonsense.
Boom, there it is. Use that second call if you want to, Trevor. Appreciate you as always, my friend. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go out to Ian from Mississippi. Ian, one of the newest web heads here. Welcome to the Evolution. What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Mr. Peter Blake, I just want to call and compliment the show and say thank you for running this show. It's a wonderful thing you do.
Thank you.
And I also want to compliment all the prior callers. I think they did a wonderful job. It was great to hear. And I have a little list of things that I want to ask you and things I have concerns about.
All right, let's go ahead. List them off. Let's go, my friend. Do it.
Number one is Penix. Penix is a really good quarterback, and I think that seeing a little tape on him and being able to play him this year bodes well for us because he's actually really good.
Well, he definitely is really good. And listen, that's the reason why they draft him so high in the top 10 in the first place. He definitely has flashes of brilliance. They're thinking that he's going to be that future quarterback. Knock on wood, if he can stay healthy, he certainly has everything that you want in a future franchise quarterback. So we'll see if he can get it done. He couldn't get it done versus the Bucs. I didn't think he had a bad game. I think he's very mobile. He can scale the pocket. He can make all the throws. So I think if you're an Atlanta Falcon fan, which, I don't know if there's anybody listening right now that is, but if you are,
I hope not.
Well, listen, I'm liberal to, all NFL fans listening to this show. Just because you're not a Bucs fan doesn't mean you can't listen to the sports web.
Right.
I'm open to it. Just like you come out to Tampa Joe's, we're doing a Bucs away watch party. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to shun you. We're not going to get you on camera. More than anything else, I'd rather have you on camera. I like conversations with different fan bases because you learn some things, which is always a good thing. But with that being said, I think he's got everything that you would want from a franchise quarterback. Again, what's the big major thing with him when he was coming out of the draft? He couldn't stay healthy, but love the kid from Dade City. I think he's tremendous. Right on.
And I agree with you. And next thing was Servassier Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what everybody said about him earlier. And we just have to keep in mind, he doesn't have that many starts.
Correct.
He doesn't have that many starts in the NFL. So it's like a different speed for him. And as time goes, I see him getting better. And I hope that is the case. What say you, Mr. Peter Blake?
Yeah, listen, I'm the eternal optimist when it comes to Tampa sports. So, yeah, people call me Homer Blake. I love the kid. I love the kid coming out. I loved, interviewing Levante David just a couple months ago and seeing how excited he was about, Voss. I want to see it on the field. We saw flashes of brilliance last year. We saw him in that second half make some tackles, but still take some bad angles. So I think for the Bucs' success going forward, they're definitely going to have to get improved play from Dennis, and I think they will because of these comments from Levante David. He's a true leader. He's calling him out. He's calling him out in the media, probably called him out in the locker room. That's your true leader. That's your veteran leader that you want calling out guys and making them accountable. And I think, with calling him out and making him accountable, that he'll come out and play a better game versus the Texans. And he'll have to do that throughout the year. So to answer your question, I think he does, and I think he will improve, and I think that's the big basis for me of this defense's improvement in 2025.
Peter, thank you for the optimism. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend.
I'm right there with you. But so TJ Reeves, about, I don't know if it was a week or two or probably 10 days ago.
Right.
TJ Reeves says special teams is the biggest difference, which after watching the game, I agreed. Cam Johnson was great. He got special teams player of the week.
Correct. By the way, last time a player had a long punt return for this team, who was it?
Before him?
Yep.
I saw the name earlier, but I couldn't even tell you. Bobby Rainey.
That is correct. 58 yards. Very good. Winner, chicken dinner right there. Yes, it was. Absolutely. 58 yards from Bobby Rainey there in the, I believe it's the Lovie Smith era.
It was Wasn't the best time, but
no, it
so
was
what
not
I,
the best time. No.
what I wanted to ask though is that yes, the special teams look good, but McLaughlin, other than him, like everything else was promising, and I think he'll come back around. Like I mean, maybe it's the like early season
Jitters.
Yeah.
Well, you hope he can get over that, but you're exactly right. And even Todd Bowles said, listen, we're going to look at it. We're going to chalk it up as a bad game. But of course, you know, it goes back to what? You only got one job to do, one job only, and that's to kick the ball. It's to kick extra points, especially being in that 40 to 50 yards. That's usually the gimme. And then you have to have this kid or this guy, I shouldn't say kid because he's a man. You have to have this man to be confident, especially from beyond 50 yards. And that's the reason why the Bucs got him in the first place. So I'm going to chalk it up. Again, this is the eternal optimist in me. I'm going to chalk this up as a bad game, Ian. Anything else here, my friend?
Yes, I just want to keep going with you here and tell you I love the Tampa Bay optimism. You can't do it enough for me. I mean, you can just keep it rolling all night if you want.
All right, Ian, I appreciate it, my friend.
But so Ibuka's body control, like when you see Ibuka get tackled, like he barely gets tackled. Like it's almost like he has control of the situation when he's getting tackled.
Yep.
Like I feel like the guy has such good body control and spatial awareness and different things to his game that makes him so special. Not to mention his work ethic and just his character. Like there's a reason there's so much hype about Ibuka. And he showed it on Sunday, and it was just very good to watch as a Bucs fan. And I'm thrilled about Ibuka, and I can't wait to get our other pieces back because it opens it up for everyone. And Baker had a bad game, but I mean he still shows that he's a fighter and he's going to win.
He's a gamer, right? I mean, he's a gamer.
Right.
That's what you always hear about, how gritty he is. And again, you know, last 2 years, the touchdowns. He has more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes. He didn't necessarily have his best game, but you know, the last couple of years he's been able to throw for 3 touchdowns. And when you need him to go in that fourth quarter to get you points after the momentum is clearly in the Atlanta Falcons' favor, and he comes out there and drives down did you have any doubt when that Bucs offense gets back the ball that Baker's not going to put it in the end zone, whether it's with Evans or Otten or Bucky Irving or Ibuka in this case? I didn't have any doubt because that's the way Baker and this offense have performed. No matter what offensive coordinator it comes down to, Baker Mayfield is a top upper echelon quarterback in this league. He has shown that the last couple of years with his play on the field, and that just continued.
He's a dog.
He's a
dog.
dog.
He's very aggressive. He's
Absolutely.
very aggressive.
Yes.
He embraces. When the coordinator calls something aggressive, Baker does not shy away.
No, he doesn't.
He's jumping right at it. He's saying, "Give me more."
That's it.
You know, like
you gotta love that.
I love.
He plays with the chip on his shoulder,
Right.
and that's a direct reflection of that locker room. That's why the reason why the locker room wants to play for him. And once again, he has an opportunity to earn a big time extension for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team going forward. Anything else, Ian?
Oh yeah, I want to ask you about Rashad White.
Go for it.
I think Rashad could have a big year solely on the fact that it's a contract year and he's in better shape and he's a really good running back. Like, I mean, he's overlooked because of Bucky's successes, but Rashad's a good back. I mean, he did have that run right into the line of scrimmage thing for a little while, the 2 yards of carry.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get him out in space as a receiving back and you get him to mix him up with Thunder
there it
and
is,
Lightning,
right there. It's a receiving back, and that's where his value is, right? You got to be a receiving back. You got to be a guy that picks up the pass protection.
But he's a great blocker. He's a great blocker.
He is a great blocker. You know? He does that on pass protection. So he's definitely valuable to this team. I will say that I think they would get Sean Tucker more involved. They want to get Sean Tucker more involved in this offense, but you're exactly right. I think White has value. Maybe he's not necessarily the best running back, but when it comes to catching the ball out of the backfield, picking up blocks and pass protection, and also being a safety valve for Baker Mayfield when it comes to third downs, I definitely think he's valuable. Ian, great stuff as always, my friend. Use that second call if you want to, all right?
Right on, man. Hey, thank you, Peter, for doing this show. I also want to say that doesn't Ibuka look so much better in number 2 than Kyle Trask?
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I will definitely.
And I'm out with that.
Yeah, you're out with
guys.
that. Love you too, brother. All right. Good stuff there. Ian, good stuff as always.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
He's absolutely correct. Nothing against Kyle Trask, but Ibuka does look good in the 2 uniform there, as I seen Sun Devil Dave call in. So call up on the phone lines if you want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a victory. Yes, a victory. Happy hump day. Let's go out to Mr. Sun Devil Dave, shall we? Sun Devil Dave, welcome to the Evolution, my friend. How do we start off this show?
Thank you for wasting my time, and great job. And goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever. There you go. There it is. You say you're in. Yes.
Thank you again. I had a great time at Tampa Joe's restaurant. Thank you for letting me speak on the halftime. I'll try to speak up a little bit more next time.
Well,
be a little bit more explosive.
Yes.
Bring the passion, bring the excitement, just don't bring any nonsense.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of the
just
camera.
Just the moment was great, and the venue is great. We got to get people out there Monday night.
Yes. Well, that's what we're working on. You're going to be there on Monday night, my friend. You're going to be there on Saturday for the Bulls.
Right, for the Bulls too. But also a reminder, the Bucs Texans game is actually going to be an early start. It's a 7 o'clock.
It is a 7 o'clock. So we
make
will
sure people
start
know so they don't show up at 8:20.
Yeah, we will start at 5 o'clock here on the Evolution. I'll probably get out there about 2-3 o'clock, set up all my tools of ignorance, if you will, as people call it. And we'll go live at 5 o'clock, and we'll get a pregame show and probably talk to everybody about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the biggest keys to the win against the Houston Texans to go 2-0. So what else is on your mind?
I want to talk about our boy Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
I know you talked about he is a top-tier quarterback. I was just looking at the ratings. Now, again, this is just week 1. QBR 86.9, number 6.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically in the top 6 in all aspects of ratings. Number of points contributed by a quarterback, PAA. I think he's got a 6th overall.
Mm-hmm.
Number of plays contributed where the QB has influence on the game. I think he's number 5.
Right.
So, I mean, everywhere you look, his raw QBR 6. The only one that played better from a QBR standpoint was Jackson, Hurts, Love, Herbert, and then Daniel Jones had an amazing game, which is kind of wild. I'm happy for Daniel Jones, but again, it was a crazy week, and
it's an overreaction week, right? So it's always an overreaction week. We'll see how that plays out. Yes, I agree with you.
I'd like to give a big shout out to like the people behind the scenes, the scouts, the coaches, the trainers, the people that are developing these players. So we had 16 games on Sunday or during the week.
Mm-hmm.
32 teams.
Yeah.
Guess how many games were decided by more than 7 points out of the 16 games?
What was it? 13 or 14 of those?
No. 16 games. Out of the 16 games, only 3 games were decided with more 8 or more points.
Right.
So you had basically 13 games that were 7 points or less.
Well, that's what I said. 13 games. 13 games.
I had it flipped around. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So
I got you.
Say, right.
13,
so 13 out of 16. That means these were all nail biters. The Buccaneers game, even the Bears Falcons game, Bengals Browns 17-16. These are I want to give kudos to all the coaches. I mean, the NFL is getting better quality players, and I know they always like to say parity. When I hear parity, I kind of think of it as like you're saying, well, that basically means that everyone's about equal. I mean, which is true, but what I'm saying is that you have high quality players, and on every given Sunday, a 16 seed could beat a 1 seed, or 11 seed could beat a 6. It's like in college basketball. So I just think that the quality has really gone up as far as the competitiveness of the game, the quality of the players, offense, just all around. So I know Goodell's happy. I know you feel that, it's a money-making thing. They don't care about the players, but I think the product is great. So
yeah, the product is continue to be great, and that's the reason why it's a multi-billion-dollar revenue business that everybody looks forward to every year, no matter what sport it is, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball, whether it's hockey, which I love all those sports, but we all love, even college football. We love the National Football League, and there's a reason for that because it is compelling. There is storyline content there. There are stories every week that you can look at. Players come out of nowhere, overreaction for week 1. week fours and stuff like that. Teams that are not expected to be competitive. Parity is prevalent, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. And another stat I always like to look at is my favorite number on that box score. You know what it is? It's 0, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No Baker, no picks, no fumbles, right?
I mean, nobody was talking about that, but that's one of the things you got to improve
0.
on. Yes. I mean, 16 interceptions last year. I think, 20 turnovers. So you definitely want to cut down on that, even with having a bad game. And I get it. He could have had 5 interceptions, as our good friend Franco said on the phone call. Didn't necessarily have his best game. You got to be lucky sometimes than be good. And he was lucky on that, but no turnovers. That's encouraging.
Absolutely. That is encouraging.
Yeah. Anytime you win the turnover battle, more than likely than not, you're going to win the football game. And they had the no turnovers by both teams. Usually, if you have a turnover and the other team doesn't, then you're going to win more times than not. So it was a game that you couldn't afford a turnover because you have a turnover. And that's why it's so important for the Bucs to get that turnover before the half, so you take points off the board.
Absolutely. So I was impressed. The defense made some key stops.
Mm-hmm.
The offense came through. Baker brings those, like I said, those gritty intangibles, like extending plays, running down the field, having the testicular fortitude to get down that field.
Very nice. Very nice.
Huevos.
How McFoley of you. I love that. Very
That's
good.
Right. I love McFoley. Speaking of McFoley, are you doing wrestle talk tonight or no?
I don't know. I'm going to try to keep this under 2 hours. Like I said,
okay.
we're going to do it next week. We had some things happen today that were unfortunate. No matter what side you're on, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, we don't talk politics on this show, but a 31-year-old man got shot because he was debating and having conversations, whether you agreed with his ideas or not.
Right.
So for me, I
was distraught. I was distraught about that, and
seeing that was kind of sad and disappointing. So we had to do a show tonight.
The bottom line is this: it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, whatever, white, black, green, brown, young, old. We all need to show love. And I know you don't want to talk about politics, religion, but we need to love one another more.
We do.
We need to show
respect
and kindness and courtesy.
Yep.
And we don't have that in this world. And you know what? I pray obviously for Charlie Kirk and his family.
Yep.
I pray for his family. I also pray for the family of the individual, the suspect as well. I know a lot of people think obviously, the suspect should be burnt to a crisp, killed, whatever, maimed.
Right.
But his family, is going to go through some tough times. So praying for the family of the suspect, obviously praying for the family of Charlie Kirk and I think he had 3 children as well, 3 or 4 children.
Yeah.
So, the kids, and now his widow and his family. So hopefully they'll get through this. Maybe we could see some level come out of this. So great job again. I really appreciate what you're doing, Peter.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You're doing a great job. I'm looking forward to come out. It'll be Saturday, a 7, I think it's a 4:00 kickoff.
4:30 kickoff 4:30. There. We'll be live at 2:30, getting you ready for USF versus Miami as USF hopefully can continue this winning streak.
What did I tell you? I told you they're going to beat Florida.
You did tell me they were going to beat Florida, and you told me that they're going to kick that field goal. So, yes.
This team shows basically no fear. And if you have a solid defense like they do, they can hold teams like Florida. I mean, I know Florida kicked themselves in the butt with all those crazy penalties, and they did play lackluster. But you got to give some credit to the defense to force that pressure, to force those penalties, to bring the indecisions and force that quarterback that really have a subpar game. So I think that they go into Miami really with nothing to lose. Again, no one expected to be 2-0 and beat Miami. If they could beat Miami, they could run the table. Right?
They could definitely run the table. They could definitely run the table. Some tough games against, I believe Memphis is coming to town. That could be a tough game, but overall, let's
get past Miami. Yes. I think they could beat Miami.
One game at a time.
The line is something ridiculous. Let's say the line will be 18.5, like Florida. I'm not Harry the Greek, but you know what? I'd take USF in the points.
There you go. I think you're absolutely correct.
God bless you. And they have Cam Brown as the QB. Cam Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's the beast.
Yeah.
So great job. I'll try to get out there Saturday if possible. If not, I'm definitely going to be there Sunday before Monday night kickoff at 7:00.
Well, might be there Monday because we'll be there Monday
Well,
night.
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be there Monday night, but I'm going to try to get there. I don't got work till 6.
Okay.
So I'm doing great at my new job.
All right.
I'm remote. I love it. It's very similar to the old gig, but I'll tell you more about it over the weekend.
All right.
So have a great rest of the week, and I'll try to reach out to you on Saturday. Go Bulls, go Bucs, go Bears, go Cubs, and go Rays.
And what do we say to end it off?
Hey, thank you for wasting my time, and goodbye forever.
There it is, right there. Good stuff. Mr. Sun Devil Dave, use that second call if you want to. Good stuff. They are open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Going back to it, again, 31-year-old man got shot, brutally assassinated today. Conversing, having conversations, debating people. I don't think we do that enough. I think it's so violent these days. Social media, I love it to a certain degree, but I think we should take a step back and sometimes instead of just talking, maybe listen. I'm going to do that right now. Let's go out to Abraham. Abraham, welcome to the Evolution.
Yeah, so I mean, I know today is like a tragedy, but I just want to just say that in light of all this, I just hope that we just find some peace in all this, and we have sports to enlighten us and keep us up. But I just pray that people will think before they act and make violent decisions. And people just, learn to respect one another regardless of what kind of political beliefs you have.
Thank you. I mean, it's just that easy, man. I mean, it's okay. Like, the world's not going to end. Like, I understand what you're going through. And maybe I don't understand what you're going through. But guess what? I'm going to try to be here to listen to what you have to say. If you're going to listen to what I'm going to have to say. If you respect each other. We don't respect each other anymore. We're so into the social media thing or a mirage that we can't respect each other. We got to talk down to each other. We've got to prove. We got to always be right. Like, it's not that serious. And when it comes to the conversations and the ideas, we should all have that. This is what America's about. It's free speech. Somebody shouldn't lose their life because they have a different political idea or different political ideas than you. I mean, it's just got to put everything in perspective. And sometimes we kind of lose that sight. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's happened. I get a point of why it's happened, because people are going through situations, and the easiest thing to blame or the low-hanging fruit is this political party or this political person. And really what the answer is to look into the mirror and look at the person that you're looking at. That is most likely the problem with anything at the end of the day. You can change anything you want to change if you put your mind to it.
Change comes from within, man. It's all in your hands. And some people want to point fingers instead of just looking at what they can do to make better their situation. And they want to it's just all I gotta say is we just hope that man finds peace, and we just remember that God created us, and whatever faith we are, we just have to be strong with our faith.
Yep.
And we have to tolerate and respect other people. We can't expect other people to think or believe the way we do, because everybody has a right to their own beliefs and political views.
That's why I love the sports web. Like, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. I'm not sending you a check if you agree with me or disagree with me. At the end of the day, this show is for Bucs fans. This show is for sports fans. To say what they want to say, what's on their mind. Am I going to disagree with you sometime? Yes. Am I going to call you out on it? Yes. Can you call me out on it? Yes. I'm not coming to your house to avenge my point. My point isn't always the right one. And I'm here to try to try to have conversations with people. I want to talk to people. I think we don't talk enough. I think we yell too much. I think we yell too much in sports broadcasting. I think this whole shock jock idea of having people debate, I love a good debate, but does it have substance to it? I think that's what the sports web has provided for everybody. I hope that has.
I mean, even in the sport, like certain games, I mean, like some fans get out of hand. I mean, they need to get it together, realize it's just a game. You all are just acting like fools over a game. Or you can enjoy it without, and maintain your little respect, but some people just totally get carried away.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what? You don't need to get act that stupid and ridiculous in a game, in a sporting event.
Yep.
Especially that situation with Lamar Jackson. That was totally unwarranted. That man had no business putting his hands on that Ravens player or Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson just, you know what? Lamar came from Boynton Beach. And Boynton Beach, you don't play with people down in Boynton Beach because I know that hood.
Right. Right.
He ain't gonna take that shit. But
nope, he's not. He's definitely not.
So going back to Bucs, I just want to dwell on the positives. Okay, I know Zion had 2 drops, but he was solid in coverage.
He was.
He made solid tackles. Dean is Dean, okay? And if he doesn't, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is just a pattern that's been going on since he was a rookie. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's had some flashes of brilliance, but he just can't stay healthy. And he's not a solid number 1 corner. I'm sorry. Even, you know, they drafted Zion to be they saw his potential. I mean, coming into the league, he was not, you know, his tackling was not refined. His, you know, it's a big jump coming from FCS school to the NFL. So, but the last 3 years, I think, you know, he has developed his game, and he will be, you know, I'm barring last game. I mean, they're going to highlight the drop passes. Okay, it happened. But he got his hands on those balls, but then he dropped them. But I mean, I think he will come back. He will redeem himself, and that's why they gave him a contract, because they see that potential. And look, imagine having a cornerback at 6'2", got that amazing speed he's got. Yep. He's faster than Dean, from what I understand.
Yep.
And then now he's a solid tackler, and he's really good in run support now. So, I mean, that's a prototype corner. Now you drafted those 2 stud rookies. And, you know, Dean's time is up, because he's never had any competition. I mean, you had practice squad players coming if he gets hurt. Now you got some solid guys. And then if Parrish gets moved to corner, you can move Izzy in, you know, to back to nickel, or you can put Rashad Wisdom in nickel. And you know, so I mean, I like the defensive promise. I know that Tyke Smith needs to work on his tackling a little bit. I mean, just let me tell you, everybody's rusty, okay? This is rust. I don't think a lot of the starters got a lot of, you know, meaningful game time action during the preseason.
Yeah.
So eventually it happened last year. They will pick up game momentum. But I like the fact that Winfield Jr. made a solid comeback, and that was a game defining pass breakup he had. Yeah. And Winfield's back. Okay, he's back. And Servassier, I think everybody's getting too hard on him, but you know, it's you covered what's the name of that? Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. Bijan
Robinson is one of the top 5 running backs in the league.
Shut down.
You know, yeah. So I mean, that's the first game. Servassier is going to prove himself. I just hope that he doesn't get hurt, but he's going to prove his worth to this team. He's a bona fide, solid linebacker, and Levante. So I ain't worried about it. I think they're just over criticizing the. I mean, Hassan Reddick made a great sack, and then Yaya had a great sack that just got called out because of penalty.
Yep.
And yeah, so I am not worried about this defense, but I am a little bit concerned with those two, the defense of the Texans. I'm gonna keep it real. This D'Amico Ryans is a solid defensive play caller, and I'm a little bit concerned, but I'm not worried. I think I like the makeshift line that they had, and I think that was Todd Bowles, Grizzard, and Carberry. They all decided, and it was actually Todd Bowles' idea. Let's just do it on game day. That was Todd Bowles made that call, so that was a brilliant call. It was. You put your best people out there. You put your best available people out there, and Barton was solid in the run blocking game, and he looked pretty solid. I mean, imagine Chris Warren's down, and this is the best replacement you can for Wirtz. I mean, he was a solid left tackle in college, so I'm not worried about it. This one Baker is a little bit rusty. He will gain momentum as the season progresses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 touchdowns. Ibuka looks solid. I'm not worried about this team. And I think that they will grow from last game. I mean, a win is a win, but there's a lot of things they got to work on, but they'll get better as each game progresses, as the season progresses. So
Agreed.
I'm very optimistic.
Love it. Good stuff, Abraham. Anything else here on the evolution, my friend?
Nothing. I mean, just bring your passion, bring your excitement. Don't bring your nonsense. That's it.
Love it, man. You got to come out to the away watch parties for USF and the Bucs this year. Come out this weekend. All right, my friend.
Definitely. I'll talk to Murray about it. All right. Take care, Peter.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. There you go, Abraham. We'll go out to these comments because I haven't read any comments at this point, so I do apologize. But the calls have been coming fast and furious. CSB brother Cole, I see you right there calling in. Ian using your second call, calling back in. Risa says, Jojo White says, LFG, let's go. Absolutely. Let's go out to Christopher O'Reilly. Good evening, gentlemen. No nonsense. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Raina LFB. I know what that means. Good stuff.
Wait up, little boy.
Yes.
Wait up.
Yes. Let's get
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Hey, group. What's going on, Adam? Thanks a lot for the call. Christopher Cole. Evening, Pete and everyone. Evening to you.
Yes.
Let's go out to Christopher Cole again. What time did the tow truck come to your rescue? About 12:30. What does Tom Brady have to say about that?
That's good enough to suck right there.
But thank you very much for tuning in. A Tuesday night edition from the Tesla of the Sports Web. Thanks a lot for caring, guys. Appreciate it. Go Bucs. Go Bulls. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Good stuff there. Let's go out to JoJo White. What do you think? When do you think Warfs will be back, Peter? Week 3, the home opener versus the Jets. That's what they're anticipating. So we'll see if that happens. That's what I've been told. Tim Haynes says, what's up, Peter? What's going on with you?
Yeah.
Let's go out to Lee Eam. Happy hump day. I know who that is. Happy hump day to you. Let's go out to Adam. Hey, group again. Hey to you. Corey Hall, they give you a second after it hits 0. Refs were just bad. They were absolutely bad.
Yeah.
They do give you a second when it hits 0. Absolutely, Corey. But the refs were cheating. Mike D. Roches. Hey, Peter. Hey, Canada.
Yeah.
Thank you. Christopher Cole, if he gave himself up, then the ball should have been spotted where he started his dive. Absolutely correct, Christopher Cole. Right on it. What's good, Peter Blake? What's good with you, my friend?
Yes. Yes.
Let's go out to Corey Hall again. They were cheating like hell. Mike D. Roches. I wonder how TJ interviews a player after a tough loss. We talked about that. Thanks for TJ for answering that question. Roberto Aguayo 2.0. Let's not go there yet. Maybe that's Young Wei Koo. I hope they keep him forever. Mike D. Roches, thank you for asking TJ the question I posted. Thank you, TJ. Lisa, amazing stat for Todd. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lisa, again, thanks a lot for tuning in there on Facebook. Hopefully the run game develops Monday night. You're definitely going to need that run game because you have those potential edge rushers in a Daniel Hunter and, of course, a Will Anderson. In order to take the pressure off of Baker Mayfield, you have to incorporate the run more with, of course, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker. I said last week that Abuka would be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And guess what, Jim? It looks like you could be correct. Trevor says TJ is the GOAT. That he is. That's why we have him on the show. Scott Broadway, TJ, the rest were blind. Mike, are refs scripted if WWE? I don't think so. Thank you, TJ, as we wrap this show up. Good to see you in the studio, Peter. Hope you can get your car fixed soon. Shout out to Harry the Greek there for getting those 2 tires fixed. The Tesla is back on the road. We will be driving Uber tomorrow morning, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. See if I can get up. That's why I want to get out of here. We're changing the time of the show because of the new job. So going back to having 3 jobs, that should start in 2 weeks. So I want to get you guys used to it. So hopefully you don't hate the fact that we're going to go a little bit later. But I can tell you on away watch parties, we will be live at 5 o'clock on Monday night, getting you ready for Bucs versus the Texans. And, of course, at 2:30 for USF versus the Miami Hurricanes. Mike Evans, 949 more yards to keep the streak alive. Matthew, let Baker bake this year. Matthew, again, Bears are doo-doo anyhow. Matthew, I need to come to see a Bucs game. You need to come out to a away watch party at Tampa Joe's. Of course, this edition also brought to you by, and I got to mention this right here, Up the Block Barbershop, whether it's a haircut, fade, beard trim, you don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and tell him the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. So there we go. We'll come back to Tampa Joe's. There it is. We'll come back to these comments, and we'll get out of here for the night as we got 3 minutes to go. Is Tampa Joe's far from Ray J? It is not far from Ray J. Eric, I'm going to take your call another time. I hate to do that, but I want to make sure we keep this under 2 hours. So, Eric, appreciate the call. We'll get you on the pregame show on Monday night. Y'all got it coming Monday night, Houston Texans. Homie, please tune in to the Evolution, even whether they win or lose. We got you. Is Tampa Joe's far? It is not far away. Sun Devil Dave, Baker's top 5 quarterback in all aspects, period. Tearing it up. Thank you so much for including my band in your community. Check me out. Tearing it up. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And let's go out to David. If Zion could catch, he probably would be a receiver. Thanks a lot to all the calls for the night on a happy edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Thanks to the media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Remember, Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa, USF away. Watch party starting at 2:30 as the Bulls get ready for the Hurricanes. And, of course, Bucs on Monday Night Football starting at 5 o'clock, your pregame show versus the Houston Texans. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake, and do 3 things as we ended off here on a victory Wednesday night. Happy Hump Day edition. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say to end off this show, Go Bucs, and God bless all of you guys out there that tune in to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. We'll see you soon, guys. Thank you very much.